Hi everyone, it's Lali here in the studio and I'm about to frame my latest painting, so I thought I'd show you how I do that because you might find it interesting. So this painting has the sides nailed, and this is something you find a lot in France, and some artists here find this better for some reason, but I don't really like it. So even though I have painted the sides in gray here, I really don't like the bumpiness. So I've decided to frame this painting. So I have a frame here, natural one, and the other one here is white. I think I'm going to go for the white, but I wanted to try both. Let's get started. My favorite way of framing artworks is to float frame them, and this means that the frame doesn't come on top of the painting. And especially when I'm using those kinds of panels for little artworks, like this one is a little encaustic piece, and I'm going to place it here in this little box and frame it this way. And this is another one. So even for flatter artworks like I could have on this panel here. So here when I float frame something like this, then the back is full. But for larger artworks, it's not the best option because it makes them very heavy, and it's not always easy to find wood panels that have that kind of size. But thankfully, we have some really nice frames like this one here. So this one is unpainted and I like it for some artworks, but this one, because it's very black and white and it has some nice neutral tones, very subtle, I think it's going to be a bit too much if I have this sort of light brown around it, and it's going to dull the painting. So I think I'm going to use the white instead. So here it is in the white frame, and I like it a lot better. Okay, let's turn it around so you can see the whole thing. So the painting already has its hanging system at the back here. And that's what I like about this kind of frame, is that it's always the painting that you hung on the wall. And this way it's more secure. And if you want to remove the frame, it's very easy to remove it. And you can still hang your painting if you prefer to hang it without a frame. So what I'm going to need are these little spring clips, they're called. And I also need 4 little screws. And you want to make sure that they are the right size, because sometimes they come with the spring clips and they're not the right size. The ones I had were too long, so they would have gone all the way through the wood and into my canvas, which you really don't want. So I made sure to have some smaller ones. A ruler or tape measure or whatever to measure where you put your clips. A pencil. A screwdriver. I prefer the electric one because I'm very lazy with screwdrivers and I don't have a lot of strength, so that helps me a lot, but a regular one is fine. And the last thing I like to use to make sure my painting is really nicely placed into the frame are some Kapla blocks that I borrow shamelessly from my children all the time. So this is optional, you can eyeball it totally, but I like them. Okay. So for larger paintings, I like to have 4 clips. For even larger ones, I would use 6. And for smaller ones, 2 are enough. So I'm going to measure, let's say, 15 centimeters from the top. And I'm going to trace that in the wood. So let's place the first screw. So I'm going to place my clip here and I'm going to push on my screw a little, and sometimes you need to hammer it in just a bit. Here we are, and I'm going to screw it in place, and I'm going to make sure that I'm not going all the way. I'm just going to screw it a little, but not too tightly. you must still be able to wiggle it around like this, okay? And let's do the other ones. So now I'm making sure they are all turned towards the inside of the painting, and I'm going to place my frame on top. So this is the back of my frame and the back of my painting, okay? Okay, and now what I'm going to do is place my clips here. And if I find that I need to pull it too hard upwards like this, it means my screw is too tight. So I'm going to unscrew it just a bit. And it's going to make it easier. Here we are. Now I'm not going to tighten my screws just yet because I need to check the placement, and that's where my coupler blocks come in. So as you can see, there's a lot more of a gap here than here. So I need to push it and place it correctly. I'm going to place my little coupler blocks all around. Here we are. I have pushed on the canvas a bit. And now I can see that it's tighter here than here. So I'm just going to take my coupler and push just ever so slightly on my canvas. Okay, I think we're good. I'm going to remove my coupler, and then I'm going to place it vertically so I can really see if anything feels not right. I think we're pretty good. So I'm going to flip it over again. And here I can notice that one of the clips got loose while I was placing my canvas. So it's not a big deal. The other three did their work and it's nice and secure. And now I'm just going to tighten each screw. So when you tighten the screws, you want to place your thumb on the spring clip here so it doesn't move. Okay, and here is our painting. It's nicely framed and ready to hang. I hope you found this useful, and this is something that I really like to do to finish a painting. And if you know me, you know I like to pay attention to finishing touches a lot, and I love my artwork to be nice and ready to hang for whoever is going to buy it and display it in their homes. Thank you for watching and have a creative day. Bye!